We are back with the second installment of the Mario Kart 8 farewell tour tier list. And of course I'm being a bit silly about, the lifespan of Mario Kart 8. It's just because Mario Kart World is coming out soon, and by the looks of it from the Mario Kart Direct that they did recently, does it look absolutely incredible and stellar and very fun? Yes. So, that doesn't negate the fun of this game. And so, enough of that. What I'm doing here, if you didn't watch the first installment, well, welcome to this one. You don't have to watch them in order. It doesn't really matter. But I am ranking every single track from Mario Kart 8, and my oops, I don't like hitting the cows. It feels mean. I mean, not that you're supposed to, you know what I mean, you're supposed to avoid them, but I was just being particularly careful. But my standards, the benchmarks that I'm going to be using to, oh my gosh, I'm almost done. I love this track. I mean, is there any question? I'm putting it in S tier. It's charming. It's a cute track. The obstacles are fine. They're not too overwhelming, but they do cause you to, well, have some pause. This track is excellent. It's an S tier track. It's cute. It's adorable. It's a classic. Very charming. I love the cows. It's fun, simple, effective, beautiful. No notes. I love it. So S tier. What was I saying? Mario Kart World? Mario Kart 8? Oh no, my standards. So I'm going to be ranking them on the basis of theme and aesthetic. So what is the track based on, and do I enjoy that? How competitive or challenging is the track? How difficult is it? And there's good difficult and there's bad difficult, which is why I use the word competitive, because sometimes it can be difficult in a way where it's okay, this is really, testing skill, but then there's times where it's oh my gosh, this is just annoying. So yeah, that's sort of what I mean by competitiveness and challengingness. And then I think, is that it? I don't know. Is it fun? I think that's, another thing. So right now, I think this is one of the Mario Kart circuits. I don't know. I mean, we started off strong with Moo Moo Meadows. I'm going to be honest, this one, I just noticed there was a glider thing to the left. Okay, do I think this little pit stop area is fun? Sure. It's kind of a waste of time though, isn't it? Usually there's I think a double block at the end of it, and so, I guess maybe there's payoff, but I'm not gonna lie, this one's kind of meh. I'll be honest, usually the Mario Kart tracks with yeah, that wasn't even worth it. Okay, the ones with the colored, what is it, red, green, yellow, and blue, blocks, I usually don't like them. There's something about them that I find particularly boring, and so for this one, we are going to be putting it in C tier. It's not awful, you know what I mean? It's not oh, this is a plague on the Mario Kart track list or course list, whatever you want to call it, and blah blah blah. But it's just, yeah, Mario Circuit is just not good. It's the GBA tracks. Those ones are kind of pardon my French here, but those are kind of poo poo. Anyway, we are on to Cheep Cheep Beach, which aesthetically beautiful, very cute. We have the I don't remember what these people, what these characters are called. They're from Mario Sunshine. It's called Pinta, or am I thinking of something else? I don't know. Anyway, we have those characters. We have, of course, the Cheep Cheeps and the crabs. And I think this is just a very charming track overall. Aesthetically, it's very nice. I mean, I know the beach and the tropics, aren't for everyone, but they are for me. And so I just look at this and I think, what a lovely, lovely place. And flying GGs are so cute. I don't know. I think, I'm trying to remember what the name of the track was, where I think it was like Dolphin Shoals, where I was like, oh, I like, I usually like marine, like I like ocean, sea life, water, animal things. That's like a theme, a motif that I enjoy. And so that one I did not like, but this one I do like. I think it's very cute. I think it's very charming. You know, lots of fun, I think. Do I think this one's like a little easy? Like too easy? Yes. Like it doesn't really. I don't know if I really feel. Okay, I don't know if I just like. I don't know what happened. Anyway, it just doesn't feel that challenging, but I love this track, and so I'm gonna say this one goes in A tier, just because for me it's missing a level of like competitiveness that I think I appreciate in my Mario Kart courses, not courts. Which you might be saying, oh, isn't Moo Moo Meadows really easy? First of all, shut up. But second of all, yes, but there's then the cows on the tracks. And so that, in my opinion, adds a level of challenge that I think makes it stand out. Now we are on, I need to look at the track names. I don't know. Oh, this one's also shaped like an 8. Guys, no joke, I have played this track like probably hundreds of times at this point, and I never noticed that this track was shaped like an 8. Anyway, I think this is Toad Turnpike. Do I know what a turnpike is? No. So, there's a big... Ooh. See, I didn't want to run into the cows, but I did run into their delivery truck, so... Hypocrite. But yes, I think this is Toad Turnpike. And again, if you know what a turnpike is, I guess, shout out to you. I guess maybe at some point in elementary school or something, you had a vocab, a vocab test, and that was on it. Are those, I'm like forgetting a vocab test, like, yeah, like probably, like you probably had words and you had to match the word to their definition. I don't know. I have not been in elementary school in a long time, so I wouldn't know. And I don't think you do those. Anyway, I'm not paying attention to the track. I love this track. I think it's really fun. Whoa, I think it's very fun. I like the added obstacles of the other cars driving, but I also like that there's that one, like this one. This lift or bonk. I think that makes it really fun, and so I don't know, I think this is a great track. I know I'm sort of like going heavy and seeming like I'm really like whatever, it's an S tier is what I'm trying to get at. This is an S tier track. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's charming. I like that it sort of gives you the feeling that you're driving on a freeway. I don't know. What are all the ways that people call freeways? It's like freeway, expressway, highway. I don't know. And if you call it something other than that, I can't help you. Yeah, Toad Turnpike is an S tier. So this Shell Cup had 2 S tiers, 1A, and then a C tier. So that's, I think, one of the strongest rated cups that I've rated so far. Yes. Guys, I keep thinking about Mario Kart World. I keep wanting to call it Mario Kart Tour, but I think that's like the like mobile game. But I just saw the direct on it. Orange Rai Desert, by the way. I just saw the direct on it, and it's just so like, it looks so good. Like, it just looks so fun, and they really, they really went for it, is what I'm trying to get at, and I'm so excited to play it. Am I excited to pay for it? No. I think the Switch 2 and all of their games are ridiculously expensive. But, you know, as I've said before, before anything, like, I mean, I have a PC, and yeah, I PC game on occasion, but more than anything, I am, you know, a console gamer, but not a PS5 or a Xbox whatever gamer. I have been a Nintendo boy since, you know, birth, essentially, since I was, you know, a wee tot. So, anyway, more about Jar Jar Desert. I like this track. I think it's fun. Usually, like, the desert levels in any game do not speak to me, and so that is like, I'm not knocking it for that. I'm saying, even despite it being a desert track, I still like it. Like, I think it did a desert well. So I'm gonna say this one is, you know, among my favorites. I liked this little, what would you call this? Like, it's not quicksand, what is it, like a sinkhole? You know, and then this oasis, perhaps. You know, I don't know my, what would that be called? Not geographical terms, like, or maybe yes, no. Anyway, I think this is an A tier. I like this track. I think it's fun. It's not like, you know, the best to me, but this is a really good one. I like playing on this track. I like the spiny cactus things. I forget what they're called, that like bend over and get in your way. I think there's plenty of obstacles. It's challenging without being annoying. And for being a desert level, it looks pretty cool. Like, it doesn't look that bad. So I like it. I think it's an A tier track. Oh, okay, here we go. And I know in my last one, I was like, oh, I'll just, near the end, I was like playing certain tracks for like a lap, and then I would like be like, okay, I made up my mind. I'll just do that whenever it happens. I just, you know, seem to be talking a lot, which is why I'm not really cutting myself off. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna give you a big spoiler. I hate this track. Donut Plains is one of my least favorite tracks, and again, no coincidence that it's one of the ones with those blocks around it that I think means it was from like a Game Boy or something. I never played Mario Kart on a Game Boy, so I have no, you know, connection or I don't know what's the word, like, not affinity, like affection. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like, I don't care for them. Like, I don't have any emotional attachment to like Game Boy Mario Kart games, and so they mean very little to me. But maybe if you were someone who played this on a Game Boy and then like got to see it reimagined, then you'd be like, oh, like, you know, that's so cool. Personally, I think this one is crunchy and boring and ugly, and I don't know, like, what's the theme? Like, wet sand, muddy road and blocks. You know, like, what is this? Like, I don't know. I just do not think this one's fun. I surprisingly didn't do that bad on it, so, you know, usually I have a harder time with the turns, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this one is a D tier to me. I do not enjoy it at all. Alright, you all, we are now on Royal Raceway, which is, you know, Women of Racing Organization. I've never seen that before. I think now that I, like, because I'm usually playing this in like a, okay, I'm being competitive context, so I'm not really like, you know, of course I appreciate the environment, but, you know, you can't really take things in as much. I will say this one is a very charming track, very, very cute, very, you know, vibrant and fun. I love all the, what would you say, like cherry blossom-esque trees, all of the hot air balloons, you know, the little, okay, relax, swan boats. I don't know, I think this is a very cute track. Hate that turn, I will be honest. But I don't know, I think I like this one. I should have done that little, I'll do the boost on the last lap. Because I don't like when I forget that that was something that I was doing a lot in my first video. I was forgetting that I had mushrooms, and so I wasn't using them, and that's what I'm doing again. And so, you know, let's give it a fair shot. Let's try out Royal Raceway. There's something about R words that are just very difficult when they're used as an alliteration, like Royal Raceway. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes I think I get tongue-tied a little too easily, but that's besides the fact. And I like this part too. I think this is a fun, like boost, and then, you know, Princess Peach's castle in the back. So I think this is fun. I think similar to what was the one that the Chi Beach that I said wasn't challenging enough. Yeah, this one's kind of like a little boring. Like, boring because I think it, like, I don't know. I think in a group of tracks, it makes sense to have, like, a challenging one, an easy one, a silly one, you know what I mean? And so I think that mix-up is good. But viewing it individually, like, I don't think every single track should be, like, the hardest track you play. Did I rank Royal Raceway? It's A tier for me. I don't know if I said it, but yeah, it's just like not like I think it could be a little more challenging, and so you know, just because of that, it could be a little boring. So A tier. But on to DK Jungle. Speaking of DK, I have seen. Have I talked about this? People complaining about the Donkey Kong redesigns. I don't get it. I think people are being kind of haters. Like I think it's like, oh, okay. We'll say, do not. Okay, usually I don't mess that part up. But I do not like that part. I don't like when, like, I think a big problem for me when it comes to Mario Kart tracks is if too early on there is a, like, obstacle or harsh turn that forces you to slow down. Because I think it's kind of silly. It's like, we just got started and you're already forcing me to go slow. It's like, or dodge something. It feels kind of dumb. I don't know what other word to use. And I don't like the flower bouncing off of it. Like, I think it's fun and it looks cute, but it's just sort of like, I don't know, awkward turn followed by boost ramp onto a flower that bounces you. It just is a little chaotic. I like this part though. I don't know what those like towers are. Whoa. Okay, that was a good recovery. I don't know what those like columns are that like blow smoke out at you, or like they're bad breath, whatever that's supposed to be. But I think they look cool. I'm not the biggest fan of these like bongo things, but it's whatever. They're not that big of a deal. But I also love the animals in this track. I think it's fun that they have like, you know, parrots and frogs. I think this temple area is cool. I do like it. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the track. But overall, I would say this is not like, here, let me go the long way. Peanut butter jelly the long way. But yeah, I would say it's middle of the road for me. And by that, I mean it's just B tier. It's not a bad track. It's just not that fun to me. I don't know, it doesn't really speak to me. But I do like the setting of it being in the jungle. I do think, you know, jungle is a very, like, the aesthetics of a jungle for a theme in a video game is like a fun thing to explore or to sort of play around with. Okay, we move on to Wario Stadium. But what I was going to say, I like the Donkey Kong redesign. I think it looks fun. I think he looks more like, I used to think Donkey Kong was kind of like a boring character. Like, he didn't really speak to me. It didn't seem like he had much, like, character to him, like, much personality. And now I feel like he's a lot more, like, his facial expressions are more, like, visible. They look fun. I think he's, like, more interesting to look at. There's something, like, you know, like, I think they, like, you know, softened his design a little bit, like, to where they made him look a little, like, you know, more silly. Instead of like, because I always thought Donkey Kong looked serious, and he looks more silly now. But I like that. I mean, but I also was not someone who has played Donkey Kong games. Like, I have never played any Donkey Kong game in my life. I don't even like. I know Donkey Kong. No, I don't. I was gonna try and say the name of one of the games. I just don't know. I've never played the Donkey Kong games. They've never spoken to me, and so I don't have that strong of a connection to the character other than his like appearances in other Mario games. I mean, for me particularly, like Mario Party, because I love Mario Party. But yeah, I don't know. I like the redesigns. Anyway, on to Mario Stadium. I will say this track, it feels all over the place. It feels like it's too much going on. You know what I mean? Like let's relax a little bit. I do like that one part of the track is shaped like a heart. I think that's really cute, and I like this part, like the boosts over the mud. I don't know why I think that's fun. This part, okay, sure, but it's like it reaches a point where there's so many different obstacles. Like okay, fireball circle, fireball. I don't know, lines going through the track. Oh, now you're underwater. Oh, now you're getting boost, like gliding. Like what's going on here? But look, like the heart part that I was just going through. I don't know. I think that's really cute. That I don't know if it was a purpose. I don't know what Wario would have to do with a heart, but I just thought it was cute. But anyway, I think this one's a C tier track. You know, it's meh. You know what I mean? It's not awful, but I don't hate it. Sherbetland. Sherbetland. One thing that I'm anticipating, because, you know, again, not my intent. Oh, I need to remember I have mushrooms. Not my intention to have made this, you know, several parts. It's just the way, you know, the cookie crumbles. Yes. But I was thinking about how when I get to the DLC section, it's going to be a lot of the like Mario Kart Tour tracks, and spoiler alert, I freaking hate all of those. I don't know if I've said favorable things about them in the past, but the more I play them, the more I hate them. But anyway, let's focus in on Sherbetland. We are in what, you know, some might call perhaps a winter wonderland, you know. Am I particularly in the mood for more winter, having just gone through it? No, but this isn't real. I love the skating Shy Guys. I think, oh, I should go underwater for the last lap, because I find myself playing how I find myself playing how I tend to play while I'm actually playing, and so I usually don't go like down here. But you know, this is fun. The little jellyfish and whatnot. I think this is a very charming track. I like it. I like that there are several options as of where you can go, even if I don't take them. But you know, it's fun. It adds some variety to everything that's going on, and so I appreciate it. I think, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, you know, ice winter levels in video games, but this is a cute, and I like the obstacles of those like big frozen chunks that'll like turn you into a frozen block. I like this one. It's not like my favorite. I think thematically it's a little like, okay, winter wonderland, but what else is there to it? So I'm gonna say A tier. But you know, it's not just because I'm in a good mood, and not for any particular reason. I think it's just, you know, one of those days where it's like, oh, I just feel of good spirits. But yeah, I think Sherbetland is an A tier. We move on to Music Park, which, you know, we aren't entirely able to capture it in its full glory, because I do not play with sound while I record. Of course, I play with sound while I play in my own life. But, yeah, like when you're on the keys, it's like, no, 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 no. So, you know, worry not, because I am able to capture the sound just as it would have sounded if you were playing it in real life. So, yeah, but anyway, you know, there's the musical aspect of Music Park. Who would have thought? But, I'll be honest, this one's sort of middle of the road to me. I think they leaned into the theme in a fun way, definitely. I like these random piranha plants, even though they do feel a little, like, I think normally I would be like, why are they on this track? They feel out of place, but then the fact that they're dancing, I'm like, okay, well, they're here with a purpose. So I can't, oh crap, I can't, hate too much, because they're immersing themselves, they're engaging in the activities, and so they did a good job of incorporating them, is what I'm trying to get at here. Why don't I go up here? I don't think I ever do this. Yeah, I felt weird. Oh, okay, well, I lied. Those piranha plants are stupid, and they're bad dancers, and they have no sense of rhythm, so D tier for the piranha plants. I'm kidding, of course. Just, okay, come on. Silly Rosso and his jokes. Alright, well, this is one that I was considering being like, should I just stop playing it like part way through and just like give my verdict? But I'm gonna say this one is a C tier track to me. I just don't like it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really enjoy it. I think aesthetically it's fine. I think the theme is kind of fun, but it's just not a fun track to play on. I don't like those big bouncing music notes. I think they're kind of like annoying. But let us move on to Yoshi Valley. I don't know why I said it like that. But yes, let us get started. Yoshi Valley, Wild Yoshi Sanctuary. First of all, aesthetically, chef's kiss, charming, cute. And I think it's fun that there's like a million different routes that you can take. And by a million, I mean probably like 4. But, I tend to go the quickest route. But I am going to, because I'm not being competitive, I'm, appreciating this track for what it is. I'm going to give Woo all of the, or I at least want to go through the big barrel that shoots me out. But yeah, I think aesthetically, this one is, what do I go this way? Probably up. Up. Boom. Oh, that's like awful. That is such a waste of time. I thought it would like launch me like way further out, but it just sort of like sent me back to where I was, which is kind of funny. But there is something funny to me about like, never mind. Anyway, I keep talking about not track related things, and I don't know, I guess I'm feeling a little talkative because I in my last Mario Kart tier list video was talking about how they're doing, construction near my apartment. And so I haven't been able to record as often as I'd like to, and so I think I'm just in one of those positions where it's like, oh, I have so much to say right now. You know what I mean? And if you were to ever, I guess, know me in, like, my personal life, like, know me as myself, you would probably come to the conclusion of, like, oh, I don't think you ever have a hard time talking, like, not talking, or how do I say this? You don't have a hard time talking, meaning, like, I always have something to say. Like, I'm usually talkative. How do I put this? I think there are very few days of my life that have happened where I didn't feel talkative. And so... saying that I feel, okay, this one is, I want to say S tier, but it's not. I want to say A tier. It's not like I like it. I love Yoshi. I think it's aesthetically very cute, but I do think it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I appreciate them including track routes that slow you down or like that are actively worse. I think it'd be fun if it was like more competitive, and so that like there wasn't the like, oh, this is the fastest path to take, and so that's the only one that you're incentivized to take. I think that's what I'm like. I think I was able to put it into words. I don't feel in Yoshi's Valley incentivized to take all the other existing paths because they're significantly slower, so why would I? So yeah, I'm gonna say A tier for that one. What is this one called? Like tick tick clock, right? Something like that. Shrugs. Asterisk. Shrugs. Asterisk. Anyway, I'll be honest, I don't like this one. I think it's hideous. I think it's boring. I think there is very little, that is, charming or fun about it. I don't like those swinging pendulums. I think this part kind of feels like nothing. Like, okay, I guess the gears change directions. Watch out. I don't know. It's not awful. So, I don't know. I think I'll stop here. I think it's a C tier track. On to the next. I'll probably just keep talking instead of, sometimes I'll like take a pause and like purposely, like, I know I'm gonna cut. Did I say what tier I said? C tier. Anyway, Piranha Plant Slide. But sometimes I'll stop talking so that I'll force myself to cut there, and then that's usually when I will drink water or stretch or clear my throat. I don't know. Anyway, Piranha Plant Slide, I think, is what this one's called. Or I just made that up. I probably should know, considering I just literally just read it, but spoiler alert, I hate this one. I think it is another hideous track. I do think, okay, let me not be too big of a hater, because it sort of like plays on the notion of like, okay, where do the green pipes lead to? Where do they go? What are they connected to? And so I'm sure you could like think of it that way and think, oh, it's fun. This is just a miserable track. I hate it. It's not fun. Most of it is ugly. I hate the dumb piranha plant in the middle over here. Or is it? There it is. I don't know. It's just like, meh. I don't like what it is. I'm finding myself having a hard time saying something nice about it. And so I'm just going to be very honest. This is a D tier track. Whenever it comes on, I'm like, oh boy. There goes all the fun. So, yeah, D tier. And on to the next. Alrighty, my friends, we have moved on to Grumble Volcano. I was distracted by the sign that said Morton Construction. I think it's fun when they will like randomly brand things, in relation to one of the characters. Now, I will admit, this track is a bit, challenging to me. But, it has that interesting, and I'm using the word interesting very generously here, twist of, ooh, it starts, breaking and changing and looking different each lap. That volcano's erupting. You only have so much time. Although, why isn't it? Oh, is it because it's timed trial that it's not doing it? Oh no, it is. It broke over here, right? Okay, yeah, it definitely broke. I was about to say, no way they'd like turn that off because I'm doing time trials. But yeah, I think it's like, I think I've had a lot of unfavorable outcomes on this track, but I think that speaks to it being like, a pain in the butt, but maybe like in a like fun way. That's a weird sentence, but I hope you understand what I mean. It's like challenging but kind of fun. I would say this one's not that bad. It's middle of the road. I'm just gonna say B tier. You know what I mean? It's not one of my favorites, but I feel like I would be being a little dramatic to put it in D tier and say, or even C tier and say that it's a bad track, because it's not. I think it's well designed and it's smart. I don't know. Ooh, okay. We're moving on to Rainbow Road N64 edition. Which, who doesn't love a Rainbow Road? Now, I will say, aesthetically, this one's like, this one's it. If you want something from a Rainbow Road, if you want style and character and color and explosion and light, then, this is it for you, baby. I just think it's very cute. It's very charming. I don't know. I think it's just an effective use of like light and color, and I think it's really well designed. I think these bouncing chain jumps on the track, in addition to the track becoming wavy, is really fun. I like seeing the city down below. I don't know. I think it's a very charming track. It's difficult, but not like impossible, as you know, some of the Rainbow Roads are notorious for being. And I like, because I've mentioned this in my last video, that it's one of those ones where it's like you just do it one way all the way through, and it's not like a bunch of like doing 3 laps of the same thing. Like it's, oh, and there's an 8 in the track. I pointed at it on my screen as if you can see me. But yeah, I think this one, I think it's an S tier track. I think, you know, a classic. Everyone loves a Rainbow Road. I think it's cute. I think the design is great. I think it's fun, challenging enough. I don't know. I love it. So I'm going to say it is an S tier, which I don't know how many of the Rainbow Roads I'm going to be throwing in S tier. It might be one of the only. Ooh, Triforce Cup. Yeah. That was my silent impression of Link doing his, you know, his thing. Yeah. But anyway, yo, I cannot explain, like, Wario's Gold Mine, blah, blah, blah. I'll be honest. I think this is another one that a lot of people like. I don't know why. I hate this one. Like, this part is fun. Like, you know, kind of feels like a roller coaster, even though, you know, sorry to destroy the illusion that I've created for you guys, that I'm this, you know, strong, brave, you know, infallible individual. But I'm not the biggest fan of roller coasters. I think they're scary. But I think it's fun. You know, these dips are fun. But I don't know. I do not like this track. But my personal feelings aside, I don't think it's a bad track. I think, like, how do I put this? I know why I can see why people like it. It just does not speak to me, you know? Like, I'm trying to think of, like, if I was gonna think of a dessert that, like, maybe people really like, but then I'm like, you know, I can understand it, but I just don't. But I feel like I like most desserts, and not so much like I think some pies are a little like, I've never had a cherry pie, but I don't know why the idea of eating one does not sound appealing to me. But I also don't like cherries all that much. Like, I like them in small quantities. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Wario's Gold Mine, everyone. You love it. I don't. That's okay. The only thing that matters is that, so yeah. I mean, it was pretty quick. It didn't take me, oh no, it kind of did take me long. It was almost 2 minutes. Well, long in terms of Mario Kart track time. I think this is another middle of the road one. I think thematically it's kind of ugly, but I can see why people like it. It has its own little, like, ugly charm. And I'll admit, I kind of had fun playing it that one time, this single time. So I think that's why I didn't put it in C tier. I was never going to put it in D tier, trust me, but, you know, it's no A or S tier. Rainbow Road SNES. I didn't even know they had Mario Kart for SNES, but I'll be honest, I don't know anything about the SNES. Like, if you would have been like, oh, what games are on there, I'd be like, I don't know. Anyway, was I saying something? I just want the Switch 2, guys. I want it so bad. I want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I want to play Mario Kart World, and I want to play, almost fell. I want to play, I'm so excited to play Wind Waker, because that's a game that I watched, like, how do I put this? I mostly watched my, like, cousins play it when I was, like when I was a kid, and then I would, like, you know, they would, like, give me the controller and let me play for a little bit. But, like, I never really, like, played through the story myself, and so I don't know the story off the top of my head. I just, like, remember, like, small moments. But yeah, I'm excited to play it for myself and play it on my channel, which I hope you guys are excited to see me play it, because I am, you know, certainly excited to be playing it for you all. But I feel like there's a game that I am missing that is, like, I mean, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and then the GameCube emulator games that are coming out on launch. But why do I feel like there's a third one that I'm just not? I mean, like, obviously Pokemon Legends but like that doesn't come out until later. I don't know. I will say, okay, I did not say a single thing about this track. I think it's cute. I think it's simple. The obstacles are fine. I'm gonna say B tier. Like, I like playing on it, but it's not like, it's a little plain. You know what I mean? Actually, no, guys, I take it back. It's A tier. I actually really like that one. And when I saw those like holographic glowing thwomps, I was like, okay, that's a fun spin on it. So I take it back. That one's an A tier for me. We move on to Ice Outpost. I was about to say, I feel like I'm not giving out enough D tiers, and it's not that like I have a quota that I feel like I need to give out, like, I need to be better. But the second I saw that I was playing Ice Outpost, I was like, oh baby, don't you worry. Spoiler, probably another D tier is on its way because I hate this one. There is no charm to this. What is this, an oil rig? Like, why would I want to be here? It's ugly. Like, literally part of a like glacier falls off in the beginning of the track. I'm not cheering that on. I don't know. I hate it. I don't like the shape. I think it's ugly. Why would I want to be here? Maybe it's not an oil rig. I don't know what is it supposed to be. Like, because I know there's people who like go to like Antarctica and like do science there, and I think that's commendable and cool. But this looks like an oil rig to me. Like, this looks industrial, not like scientific. Like, this looks of commerce and business, not, science and knowledge. So, I already made up my mind. Why am I even doing this? Guys, it's a D tier. We're not. Boo, Ice Outpost. We don't like it. We then move on to Hyrule Cricket, or as you might call it, Hyrule Circuit. The only track that never mind. I'll talk about it when I get to it. Anyway, Hyrule Circuit. Do I think? Wait. Okay, hold on. I might be messing up my time. I have never noticed those random men on this track before. Like, where did they come from? Okay, that's gonna be a point away from this track, because what the heck? But yes, Hyrule Circuit. We are at what? Zelda's castle? Perhaps? Presumably? Yes. Oh, okay. I really like that part, that if you spin every one of those little crystal diamond-y things, that then you unlock the ramp that lets you go through the Master Sword. Very fun. So, I'll say, and I like that the coins are the, rupees. That would be so cool if, like, actual money, instead of being, like, paper and coins, was just, like, gemstones. That would be, like, cool. Like, oh, yeah, let me go pay for my lunch with my little bag of gemstones. Like, you have a little, like, pouch, a drawstring pouch, a burlap drawstring pouch with gemstones in it that you go and pay for your, oh yeah, I just went, got a burger for lunch. Let me drop 2 green gemstones on it and head back to work. Okay, pardon me you all for the random cut. I mean, I played through it all the way. I'm gonna say this one is, I think, normally I don't really think about this track that much, but I think it's pretty cool. Again, I'm not the biggest Legend of Zelda fan, even though I did express, excitement in playing Wind Waker, but I think Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are the only, like, Legend of Zelda games that I actually, like, care about, and the other ones, I'll be honest, I really don't. But I would say Hyrule Circuit is an A tier. Okay, we move on to the Bell Cup starting off with Bowser City. Okay, aesthetically, gotta say it, this one goes off. I think it is just, like, I don't know, like, am I allured by the thought of this sort of, like, cyberpunk, future? No, That does not speak to me at all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I don't know if I'm using the word cyberpunk correctly, but it sort of, feels that way, or at least my understanding of what cyberpunk is, this feels adjacent to it. And so I think it references it in a fun way. I think this is definitely a difficult track. Like, this is a very challenging one. I think it's like one of those ones where it's like it really depends on my mood. Like, if I've been what is it? Dragged through the mud? Put through the mud? What is the saying? If I've gone through the mud, put through the mud? What is that saying? If I've been through it, if I've been, if I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm getting Mario Karted nonstop, meaning I'm getting hit item by item, it feels unfair the way that I'm being treated. I can never get ahead. And I'm just being, on the laughing stock. I'm getting red shelled. I'm getting lightning bolted. The second I manage to get into first, I get blue shelled. If that's going on, and that's my track record, and I'm doing poorly, and then this track comes up, I'm like, come on, when will my suffering end? But if I'm doing really hot and I'm, succeeding, then it feels like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. Let me prove myself even further. So I guess it really depends in that regard, but I would say, aesthetically strong, it's challenging. I wouldn't say it's very fun, so I'm going to say it's B tier. I think it's another middle of the road track. We then move on to Ribbon Road, which I just realized it said it was from the GBA, which is very surprising because this one is actually charming, unlike the other one. So I would have never guessed. I would have thought that this was like a Mario Kart 8 original. I don't know. Maybe I am wrong. Who knows? But Ribbon Road, very cute. I love the theme. Like, you're in some child post-birthday room who just got a bunch of Mario-themed gifts, and perhaps you're one of the toys, a bit Toy Story-esque. Very cute, very charming. I don't know. What is there not to like? I like the Mecha Koopas. Is that what they're called? Mecha Koopas? Mecha Koopas or Mecha Koopas? As the hazard. This part's a little challenging, but it's appreciated is what I'm trying to get at. And I like these little like springy, what are those called? A Jack in the Box? Or is that the restaurant? Those little like wind up things, and then the clown pops out. I have only seen those in cartoons. I don't know if they ever existed in real life, but I think it's fun that they did the clown car as the clown at the end of that little spring toy. And then there's even versions of the carts that exist in the game strewn around about, and even the yarn Yoshi. So I don't know, I think this is very charming, very cute. It's not one of my favorites. I think just the overall shape of the track is a little like, I don't really care for it, and so I'm just gonna say this is an A tier. I think it's very strong. I think it's fun. I think it's charming. It just doesn't have that oomph, that magic, that pizzazz, that specialness that I think an S tier track has. Oh, guys, I am so excited to be playing Super Bell Subway. I probably shouldn't be telling you how I feel about these tracks before I play them, because it kind of defeats the purpose of like me playing through and telling you as I go. But I love this one. This one is one of my absolute favorites. And if you were just fooled by what I said, then ha ha ha, I'm so clever, because I hate this track, guys. Okay, now I'm speaking the truth. You can trust me now. I hate this track. This is one of my least favorite ones. It's so annoying. The trains in this one, they're so, okay, in this lap they weren't that bad, but they are so annoying. I hate them. This little part is cute, or it's like, the little cafes and the restaurants and the vending machines. That's all charming. That's all lovely. The second we exit this area and we get into the subway itself, boo, I hate it. Oh, awful, awful, awful. Although this time around, I feel like let me shut my mouth. I was gonna say the trains aren't that present. No, they're right there. But you know, I've had some miserable experiences with the train, and I just do not like this track. Very cute, very fun. I am not like, I mean, like what? I was gonna say I'm not from New York, but it's not like New York is like the only place with a subway, right? Like maybe like London or something. I don't know. But I'm not from a place where they have, you know, subway train stations. So they like this whole aesthetic does not like. It's not like, oh, it reminds me of. No, it reminds me of nothing. I can only think of things that I've seen in like movies and TV shows as a reference. And so, yeah, not my favorite. I'm gonna say D tier. I kinda hate this one. Every time it comes up, I'm like, boo, 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 awful, 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 hate it, hate it, hate it. Even when I get first place on this one, it doesn't feel like an achievement. I sort of feel like, yeah, I got through that. So, yeah, D tier for that. And now we are moving on to the final track of part Folly Ado, part 2 of this tier list, Big Blue, which is the second of the 2 Captain Falcon F-Zero themed tracks, which, you know, I think is pretty cool. So let's get into the Big Blue. Do I know why it's called that? No. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I think in my Mute City one, I like that, like, there's these like panels you can drive over that then you get coins from. I don't know the context of that in the real game, like if that's something that's real, but I like how it looks, and I like that I get my 10 coins, because, you know, some of you might be thinking, oh, what good are coins in Mario Kart? They're, you know, they increase your top speed till you wanna, my friend. And I'm assuming, you know, that's gonna be the case in Mario Kart World as well, because they have they introduced a coin shell, which I think is new. I don't know, I've never seen it in a Mario Kart game, but I also have not played. Oh, he took some of my coins. But I've also not played all the Mario Kart games, and so to me it's new. But enough about Mario Kart World. We are playing Mario Kart 8. Again, you know, this is a farewell video, but anyway, let's recoup those coins that we lost. And I mean, I think it's fun that the track divides at the end. I think, whoa, you know, I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but I think it's fun. Again, I've expressed my appreciation for the tracks that go just one way through. I don't know how to say that. It's not 3 laps of the same track. It's one long track. I can just say that. I don't know. But those are my favorite. I'm going to say S tier, maybe another S tier. I think especially compared to the first video, this one had a bunch of S and A tiers. And it has nothing to do with my mood. It's just, you know, a good crop of tracks. But, yeah, I guess this is going to be the end of this one. I can throw up the tier list so far, and you can see, you know, it in its halfway through state, and then, you know, in the next one we'll go through all of, I kind of just want to do all the DLC tracks in one go, but that'll be a really long video, so we'll see when I manage to be able to get to record it, because, you know, it's been tricky as of late. But I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, so I don't know, I felt like I wanted to say something nice. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I mean that sincerely. I didn't mean to lie to you about Super Bell Subway. I just wanted to see how convincing I could be, but I'm sorry that I misled you, and I'll never do it again. I hope this doesn't, you know, change our relationship from here on out. I want you to be able to trust me and to, you know I'm telling you the truth when I speak to you. Okay, enough tomfoolery. That is all. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves. All right,